SmackDown Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of SmackDown, Raw, and or PLEs. We're also going to do hot takes today on the WrestleMania 43 press conference announcement, whatever you want to call it, and AAA's Worlds Collide PLE / on YouTube last night event, where Dirty Dom has become a two champion holder. He holds 2 championship belts as we speak, and if you want to hold this championship belt, you can. All you got to do is comment below. I'm going to give it away at 20,000 subscribers on my quest to quit the day job. All you got to do, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. All right, so let's get started, where I'm going to receive so much hate because dare I not say something just amazing and awesome about Cody Rhodes? Dare I call him out for his own hypocrisy? I'm sorry, I love Cody Rhodes, I really do. But Cody told me one thing, and then he's acting another way. So let's address it. Alfonso Passion says, I don't understand why everyone was and is giving so much hassle to Cody being gone. He was filming a movie, not even for that long. They wrote him off, so not a big deal. Okay, so I will address this. And hear me out. Alfonso Passion is a valuable member of the community. We are allowed to disagree. This is a discourse, a conversation. So I have no ill will towards Alfonso Passion, but I do disagree with him. And you are more than welcome. He is more than welcome to his opinion, but here is my opinion on the matter. Cody Rhodes has said that he is going to be a fighting champion. He has said his character multiple times leading up to defeating Roman Reigns. This was one of the big things, that he was going to be here all the time. He was going to defeat Roman, and he was going to be the first one in, the last one out. He was going to be a fighting champion. The John Cena schedule. Now that he wins his second title, he has gone off TV after SmackDown, after SummerSlam. Boom, gone. That's the issue here. The fact that he sold us on one thing and he's acting a different way. Now, I had another viewer say, where were you saying these things about Roman 3 years ago? So I'm going to address that too. But right here, what I'm talking about is they should not have given the belt to Cody Rhodes. They should have let someone else, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Tozawa, somebody else should have beaten John Cena at SummerSlam if we knew that Cody Rhodes was going to leave. Now, if Cody Rhodes had suffered an injury or something and he could not physically be at SmackDown defending the title like he said he would, that's a whole different ballgame. But we flat out knew that Cody was going to be gone for 5 to 6 weeks. Therefore, just let someone else hold the belt. Just let someone else hold the belt, and at WrestlePalooza, Cody could win it there. I'm not saying don't give the belt to Cody. I'm saying literally just work your schedule around it. Write the stories around it. Drew McIntyre this entire time could have held a championship. Like, would that have been the worst thing in the world, that Drew McIntyre beat John Cena? We could run Cody and John as John Cena's last match if we really need to pass the torch. So, like, I don't understand why it's so bad to want a champion on SmackDown every week. I don't understand why we have to make excuses for Cody. Oh, well, he had a baby. Oh, well, he had to film a movie. He did not have to film a movie. He chose to film a movie. He chose the movie career over the wrestling career, and that's fine if that's what he wants to do, because that's just it. But here's the thing. All of these non-appearances that he has done, that is hurting the SmackDown product. I think it's safe to assume that a lot of people think that SmackDown's a little on the side lately, and one of the reasons is it's missing a top champion. If Drew had held that championship this entire time and just talked smack this entire time, and then this match that we had tonight with Randy Orton was for the title, and Drew actually wins the title, and then Cody comes out and challenges Drew for said title at WrestlePalooza, how much more interesting would things have been? And then Cody can win it there. Here's another thing. When the champion returns after a 4 to 5 week, like, just being gone, yes, he was written off TV, but he was gone for 4 to 5 weeks, correct? Okay, well, here's the deal. He comes back. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's buzzing about it. He was the last thing on SmackDown last night, and nobody really cared. And I'm going to use my hot take post as an example. Every Friday, every Monday, every PLE, I put a hot take post up there, right? Guess how many people talked about Cody Rhodes? Literally, I have over 40 comments. Guess how many people talked about Cody Rhodes? 2. Alfonso Passion, you being one of them. 2 people talked about Cody. That shows me that nobody cares. Nobody really cares enough or are invested enough on Cody Rhodes that they felt the need to talk about Cody. And so him being away, this is why it's a big deal. Whether or not it's other people have left and done it, don't matter. 2 wrongs don't make a right, and it's all about results. So somebody asked me also, well, where were you complaining about Roman Reigns these last 3 years? And I responded to them and I said, just because Roman was wrong to do it, and I do believe that Roman was wrong to do it, I want a champion that is present. All right, so I don't justify Roman doing it, but oh God, now I'm making the Roman fans mad. I don't justify Roman leaving, but I will say this. Roman leaving did somehow, some way, create an aura around him, because when he returned, 1,000 people would just, blah, blah, blah. The comment sections would go crazy on talking about Roman Reigns. So he's an anomaly. It actually worked for him. And I'm not saying that from my personal feelings, because my personal feeling is Roman should have been present. However, the results, I look at the results, Roman can to this day leave TV for 3 weeks, come back, and it's the biggest news story of the day. Everybody will be just praising Roman. That's my tribal chief. That's this, that's that. I'm so happy he's back. I cannot argue with the results. That Roman, whenever he left and he came back, people were happy. I go now to Cody, and I see Cody leaves, and this is after winning the World Championship from John Cena. Cody leaves, he comes back, 2 people talk about Cody Rhodes. That comment I said about, well, where were you arguing about Roman Reigns? That wasn't even on the hot take post. I had to go and seek that comment out on another video because I wanted to address this whole Cody situation. People just don't care. People just don't care enough to really, like, if you're not willing to comment on something, that means you're not willing to care enough on something. People are caring more about Dominic Mysterio winning against Vikingo on a YouTube exclusive AAA Mexican promotion that aired at around 11:30 last night. So that's why it's a big deal, Alfonso Passion. And it's like, Roman was able to make it work for him, but I think that was more of an anomaly than anything. Because when Brock used to do it, we used to hate Brock for it. Somehow, some way, Roman is the exception to the rule. I'm not justifying it, though. I did not like when Roman would just be gone, but they added it to his character, and he would literally come back and say, I work 10 times less than you, but I make 10 times more than you. But Cody, on the other hand, he cried and said, I will be here. I will be present. And that I did not see it. I did not see it. He can have the paternity leave for the child, but he signed up for that movie knowing full well he could not be present. All of that said, I do want to say that I appreciate both people who commented that. I hope you don't feel attacked. I hope this is just a discussion, and I'm more than willing to continue this discussion. Feel free to throw it in the comments below, and I will respond. All right, let's do some more hot takes. We got Matt Britton. Hot take, Brock owned ripping his britches. R-Truth also broke him 4 or 5 times. Best segment, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, R-Truth can break almost anybody, and he definitely broke Brock Lesnar. I liked their segment back in 2020 better when Paul Heyman was there. I don't think Brock really knew how to recover, but then when he ripped his pants after the F5, I think he was just like, he was totally done being the Beast, and he was just a human having a good time enjoying himself. And I'm glad he didn't try to no-sell it, because if he tried to no-sell it, people would have just, like, the chance would have been, you ripped your pants, but because he leaned into it, it defused the whole situation. So, Brock Lesnar ripping his pants. Didn't have that on my bingo card. Tiz Mickey says, I'm guessing that they canceled the Sami World Championship push because they knew they were having a Mania in Saudi in 2 years. I did not think of that. I did not put that together. Very astute. I mean, that has to be the explanation, because it's almost like they totally abandoned the story with him and started over. Oh my gosh, you are right. Here I was just assuming that he was going to win the Riyadh Royal Rumble, but now he doesn't have to, because he could be like final 2, get eliminated, get heat in Riyadh, but then next year at 43 he wins the World Championship. That's why they abandoned. Oh my gosh, that is like, I have not heard this theory. That just blew my mind. That's why they abandoned the storyline. Very, very interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to process that more. I'm like you blew my mind, Tiz Mickey. And also I forgot Shinsuke existed until I saw him lurking in the back. Yeah, I thought so. Sami, I think it was like what? It was Carmelo Hayes. No, it was when Sami and Carmelo Hayes were talking, and Shinsuke was in the back. I thought it was like Uncle Howdy. I couldn't tell who it was, but I guess it was Shinsuke. I mean, I hate that we're going to pull Shinsuke out just to lose, but worst, if he beats Sami and then we do nothing with his title reign like when he beat LA Knight. That would even be worse. Like, I don't know why they treat Shinsuke so bad. FMJ says, so ahead of time, we already established last SmackDown was Cena's last. Why the heck did Brock come out expecting him to be here? It really feels like they've got nothing in terms of story, I swear. You're right. You're absolutely right. They could have actually made it work, in that they could have made it seem like Brock was calling him out, but was actually just too coward to be in the building with them, so he purposely came the following week. But now they just made it seem like Brock had no idea what was going on. Jimbo Slice says, I gotta say it, but the hate towards the Saudi fan base is unwarranted. I understand that people have their political beliefs, but this idea that they're a lesser fan base is baseless. Not a single American crowd was more passionate and loud than the Saudi crowd this year. And if I'm wrong, tell me which episode/event. Well, the Chicago crowds have been pretty decent, I will say that. So I can't tell you whether or not there has been one fan base or not better than the Saudi crowd. I will say 2 things on your statement. The Saudi crowd has gotten a lot better. Their first go around in 2018, it was kind of awkward, but now the last 2 events in Saudi Arabia, the crowd has shown up. I will say that. So, like, I have no problems with how the crowd is reacting and stuff like that. And I will also say that I agree that the hate towards the fan base is unwarranted. The Saudi fan base is fine. I think a lot of people have issues with the government, and I'm not even going to sit here and talk about that. My only qualms right now with going to Saudi for WrestleMania 43 is just that I want the women to be able to dress how they dress here in the United States. I want them to be able to have the freedom to dress how they want anywhere they go. Because I'm okay with WrestleMania going to France, and I'm okay with WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia. I just am. But I'm not okay if we have to put restrictions on a certain section of our of the wrestlers that we know and love. That's what I'm not okay about. I do understand, though, that also there is a counterpoint that real change can happen through entertainment. And, you know, in 2018, the women weren't allowed at all to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, and now they are. So progress is being made. I am, like, it's just a very touchy subject, but when it comes to the fan base itself, the Saudi fans are an awesome fan base. They really, truly are, and I do mean that. And even when it comes to how the women dress, has nothing to do with the Saudi fan base. It has to do with other things. But that is my issue. That is my issue. It's solely the will the women be able to express themselves, how they are able to express themselves in the United States or anywhere else in the world for that matter. But I am very happy for the Saudi fan base that they will get to experience WrestleMania. I'm not happy for me, though. I will probably never experience WrestleMania again in Saudi Arabia, in Paris, France, or in Houston, Texas, where I live. It's just too much money. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I'll be talking about getting outpriced by TKO. Mickey says, Vikingo puts on such good matches. This is AAA. This is the AAA Worlds Collide event that happened after SmackDown on the YouTube, WWE YouTube channel. We did a watch along as well. Really good stuff, and I will do a review. It's a shame the crowd boos Vikingo over something that wasn't even his fault / decision. So yes, Vikingo is the babyface champion, was the babyface champion of AAA, and he's been booed. It is a shame, but he has fallen under the umbrella of what I believe is happening to Sami Zayn right now, and what happened to Roman Reigns when he was the big dog, and even John Cena when he was like circa 2012. All great wrestlers, all great people. But higher management chose them when the people chose someone else. And so management just, instead of listening to the people, just continuously crammed them down our throats. They just continually crammed Roman down our throat until we just rejected Roman completely. And that's what's happening to Vikingo. It's management's fault. Like, once they stopped cramming Roman down our throat, look what happened. We loved him. Money on repeat. We can't find anyone for Tiffany to feud with. I agree. Like, why is Tiffany just continuously going to Nia Jax? She beat Nia Jax January 3rd. Why is she still feuding with Nia Jax? Like, every other month, she goes back. It's those two again. They run it back. They do, I will admit, though, they do have really good chemistry together, but they add nothing to the feud to make me want to see it. It's literally just always Nia coming back and saying, I want that championship. Make it personal. Do something. Make it personal, and maybe at least CM Punk and Seth Rollins, their forever feud just gets ramped up. You know, they cross personal boundaries that make me want to see them fight again. Nia just coming back and beating up Tiffany every 2 months, that doesn't make me like, oh my God, I got to see this match again. And same goes for Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill has no reason really to be still #1 contender, in that she lost fair and square to Tiffany. Money on Repeat also says, and when does Randy need help from anyone in a 1v1? Not since his legacy days. All right, so like, yeah, he doesn't need help. He doesn't need help, but, you know, they had to figure out a way to get Cody out there somehow. Come At Meow says, they say the women's roster is stacked, but really it's not. It would be awesome if they were able to take a main title out and just have the women on both shows, but one main title. Therefore, it would shed light on more competition. It is stacked. It is stacked. They just don't utilize their women. They just don't utilize their women. They could have easily bumped up Chelsea Green into a program with Tiffany right up to WrestlePalooza. Chelsea Green could be fighting Tiffany right now while the Secret Hervis is fighting Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. And we could just bump up a couple NXT women. It is a stacked roster. It's just WWE does not book it. Period. They just don't book it to the potential that it has. Kid Wilkes says, I'm a fan of Vic Joseph's commentary. He doesn't get enough praise. I'm a fan of his too. He's probably my least favorite, but I am a fan of his. And there's just a lot of good commentators right now. But it was nice to see Booker T, shucky quack quack, on the SmackDown commentary tonight. I'm a huge fan of Booker on so many levels. Like, I think that Booker is such a GOAT, like a low-key GOAT he does not get enough credit for. Because he seems to be good at everything he does. Just me, 42, yay, Solo, and Yeet Guy are total drains in my humble opinion. I don't agree. I love Solo. I love Solo when he gets all kooky and crazy legs. I think when they try to make Solo into a repeat of Roman Reigns, that's when Solo gets a little I don't really buy into it, but when he's just kooky zany and just having fun with his character, I think that's when Solo shines the most. Though yesterday, him being mad about losing the title, I like that. And for Jey Uso, I don't know how long you've been a fan, but if you've never seen the right-hand man of the bloodline, then you're in for a treat, because it seems like Jey Uso is leading into that role. That is a very good Jey Uso character. So I understand why some people don't like the Yeet Man, but the right-hand man, that Jey Uso, mwah. Raphael at Air says, Sami versus Phoenix stole the show. This match brought back black and gold NXT Sami, who delivers nothing but bangers. Can't wait to see who is next, and this will be a fun open challenge. Carmelo Hayes is next. I wish Carmelo Hayes was not next, because I was hoping Carmelo Hayes would be the guy to dethrone Sami at the end of the entire challenge, but the fact that he's next, there's no way Sami's gonna lose this early in, so that kind of sucks. I was really hoping Carmelo Hayes would get the Sami rub. But that said, it was a show stealer, and I think I figured out the template that they're gonna be going with SmackDown moving forward. You're gonna have an opening segment, and then you're going to have Sami Zayn open challenge, and that's going to take us about 45 minutes into SmackDown. Watch next week and see if that happens. If after the Sami match, we're at the 8:40, 8:45 hour. Then we got number 2. R-Truth and Brock Lesnar had me in stitches. R-Truth not only made Brock break character, but also made him rip his pants. What a legend. Yes, but you're wrong. That was not R-Truth. That was Ron Cena. Common mistake, don't worry. And then we got 3, Tracksuit Cody. This was my second of the Cody comments. Number 3, Tracksuit Cody is back, and he wants all the smoke on sight. Glad Triple H learned from ruining Cena versus Sami Classic and booked this one right. Yeah, I'm very happy that Tracksuit Cody came out after the match was over, because that main event, Drew versus Randy Orton, was a very good match. And did you know that Randy only has 1 victory over 5 Drew McIntyre victories over each other? So that was kind of a neat tidbit. And Tracksuit Cody, I really hope they got Cody right this time. I don't want to see white meat Cody Rhodes. I want to see dark meat, a chicken leg, the dark meat of a chicken leg, that kind of baby face. I want to see some fire. I want to see some fire all the time, not just when you've been attacked from Cody Rhodes. Glacier Boy says, I really like Wagner Jr., Von Wagner Jr. Sorry, I can't pronounce a lot of the names. I think he would do really well if he was allowed to transition over to the main roster or NXT. I think a lot of those guys would in AAA. I think a lot of them would do really well in NXT. I will say this, though, about the Wagner match. I really enjoyed the match, but I felt he was a little disrespected in that it seemed like he was kind of like almost non-existent for most of the match, and it was just the 3 WWE guys going at it until the end. I'm going to do a full review, and I'll talk about it, but, I feel like he should have had more moves in that match, but he did do a good job, and I'm glad he won. I am glad he won, but I'm like, come on, guys and gals, let's book this guy to be actually in the match. It's not just the WWE guys. Rainy Day Studios, Truth's charisma was fire, but as soon as Brock opened opens his mouth, it gets lame. Guy had no idea what to say. It was really awkward. Yeah, I do think that Brock eventually, like, he stumbled. He forgot something because he repeated, you're his brother. You're his brother. He repeated that like 3 times. So there was definitely a good reason for him to have a mouthpiece, an advocate. And honestly, why can't Paul Heyman be his advocate right now? I don't see why. What if Seth just said, "Hey man, go help out Brock for a little bit. Get rid of the John Cena problem for me." I know. Paul Heyman's injured, but yeah. Jimbo Slice actually saw it too. Am I wrong to think Truth and Brock both lost track of their promos and improvised because none of that interaction made much sense? Torn pants was the cherry on top. Yeah, it went off the rails. I don't, but R-Truth is so funny and hilarious that it's hard to know. Is R-Truth, is this R-Truth being R-Truth, or has things gone south? TTJC, I'm so proud of Dom, but it feels weird that Liv didn't come out since she was in Vegas for the press conference. Liv Morgan was present, and her celebrating with Judgment Day would not have been very physically demanding. Yes, this would have been a really good opportunity because Liv Morgan had already appeared at the press conference at 3 p.m. in Vegas. I agree, she should have been there just for a moment, and yeah, but Goat Buggy says, I think this is the first time in years since Michael Cole hasn't called a SmackDown or Raw. Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. I know last year or 2 years ago, last year he took a day off, his like 3rd day off ever, including sick days, to go and have a vacation with his family. So I don't know what he was doing yesterday, but I hope he had a good time doing it. Renee Bullock says, do you see Charlotte's face? She looks depressed. I think you're referring to the press conference. The press conference had a bunch of superstars lined up, and I'll tell you what, I've seen some pictures. They did not look happy. The superstars did not look happy just standing there. Maybe they didn't know what to do, but they definitely just kind of, I don't know, they were not looking like they were excited about this announcement. But I will say this, if you go to AAA, Charlotte Flair was in the audience, and she actually looked like she was having a good old time, and I'm very happy for Charlotte. She looked really like, I don't know, she just looked like she was enjoying life at the AAA event, not at the press conference. It's OTW. I almost forgot there was a women's US champ, and I ain't seen Julia since the Ice Age. Julia's been getting a little more airtime, but like, it's just she's in a feud with Meacham right now in B-Fab. That's like being in a feud with the Alpha Academy. No shade, but like, that's how they've been booked. Donatello Leonardo says, very happy to see justice has finally been passed out on those who have done wrong. For almost a year, we've had to watch the likes of Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio utterly disgrace the sport of lucha libre by continuously having disgusting and sadistic urge to take and demask other lucha legends like Grande Americano out of pure jealousy. Thankfully, that ended last night when our hero El Grande Americano came through in the end and yet again save us from the grip of tyranny. Congrats to Dom on a well-deserved title victory. I know he will represent the championship with honor. That statement, that I can't add to how beautiful and well written that was, Donatello Leonardo. You are a gem, sir. The Morning Beer Podcast says, I'm so disinterested in WrestleMania 43. We didn't even do 42 yet. However, I'm disinterested in 43 big time. You're probably not alone. I don't really got much to say. I've already spoke on it. But yeah, you're probably not alone. I just want you to know you're not alone. I really hope it's not just every match is just a legend returning. I'm really hoping that, okay, fine, if we're going to do The Rock and Roman and we're going to have Stone Cold versus CM Punk, I hope every other match, though, is just like current day roster people. I don't want to just do a greatest hits of WrestleMania. I might be alone in that, but there you go. And then Equalization also says WrestleMania 43 is no different than Tribute with the Troops, which was canceled by TKO in 2023. If you mean by like it's all about the money, then you are right. TKO probably wasn't making enough with Tribute with the Troops, and they can sell WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia for a boatload of money. So you are right there. In fact, I'm going to do a video tomorrow about how WWE, the greed of WWE, is kind of killing the WWE slowly. But that's tomorrow. This is today's hot takes, and that's it for said hot takes. Boys, girls, you have yourself a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.